Get down to at Santa Fe High School. This is Santa Fe, Texas, about the midway point between Houston and Galveston, Texas, where the authorities have responded in force now. Local police, also the ATF sending out word a moment ago. They are responding. We do not know what is happening inside, but this is what we have gathered thus far. An active shooter has been reported. Some reports that a gunman walked into a classroom a short time ago, perhaps within the last hour, opened fire. We don't know if anyone was hit or injured. There was a lockdown initiated. We've seen some of the students trickle out, but you can see the size of this campus. It's a very large building and a very large high school in southeastern Texas. As we go in just a bit, it looks like police officers there and not students, although to the right, perhaps a few students now moving across the sidewalk there. We're trying to figure this out. Galveston County Sheriff telling Fox News that they are on the scene after this reported shooting at Santa Fe High School. It's about 8:40 in the morning local time in southeastern Texas as we try and sort through what's happening inside the building. The news came to us in the last 30 minutes, and we've been in touch with our folks in Houston, Fox Houston, as well as the other reporters that are now responding and trying to get the same information we're after. Watching the Twitter feed now and social media, this is always something that tends to kick off on social media when something like this happens, but whether or not we can determine the facts on social media is an entirely different matter. What we can say is the local sheriff's department, local police, and the ATF are responding to what was reported as an active shooter. So get a quick break here. Back in a moment as we try and fill in the details after this commercial break.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Before I get into this situation, discussing it, and pretty much just reading the information that's out there and giving my opinions on it, I want to make it clear that this video is in no way, shape, or form hate speech. In no way, shape, or form am I calling any of the events that occur a hoax or an event that didn't actually occur. All I'm doing is looking at the evidence and the information that has been presented to us by the mainstream media and giving my thoughts and opinions on it. But obviously, I have to suppress some of those thoughts, but I think we're all on the same page for the most part. So there's been an event in Texas today, apparently at Santa Fe High School. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Santa, of course, being Nimrod, Santa, Satan. You also have Santa Fe. For those of you who are into using gematria and breaking down numbers, which equals 66. So you have your 66. And we also see a lot of things relating to 33 in this story. But let me read to you what happened today, and you could base an opinion on your own off of the stuff that I read to you. But we have an active event in Texas again. A shooting's been reported at a high school in the southeastern Texas city of Santa Fe, officials said Friday. A gunman walked into an art class at Santa Fe High School and began firing what looked like a shotgun. So if this ends up being true, you'll have a little bit of a difference in stories going from assault rifle to shotgun, which I'll get into in a little bit. The gunman walked in, again, and began firing what looked like a shotgun. The witness told KTRK News she saw a girl shot in the leg. Patients from the school are being taken to a hospital in the nearby city of Galveston. They do not know yet how many, but the reports coming out minute by minute are saying that there are multiple casualties in this event. It says details about whether anyone was in custody or went to the shooting weren't immediately available. That has changed. The supposed shooter is apparently in custody and has been arrested. You could see aerial footage that I'm showing you in these images of people lined up outside. This was a little bit suspicious that police officers outside the school were searching students and their backpacks, that they weren't evacuating the situation, being that this was before the shooter was apparently apprehended. Instead of getting them off the campus, they were standing there and going through their bags. But this is where it gets a little more interesting. Angelica Martinez, a 14-year-old student, told CNN she and her schoolmates were being evacuated at one point, quote, like it's a fire drill, end quote. We were all standing outside, but not even 5 minutes later, we started hearing gunshots, she said. So that's kind of interesting, right? They were already standing outside, and then they heard gunshots while they were already outside. Why were they outside already? Why was the fire drill or whatever, alarms already sounded if the gunshots were coming after? Right? Remember, a lot of these events, and listen, the people who listen to this video at YouTube and try to flag it and do stuff like that, no one's saying it, any of these things didn't occur, but we're allowed to express an opinion on it. And being that a lot of these events that occur happen on days where active shooting drills are occurring, right? And then students come forward and they said, oh, we had a fire drill, and then this went down. Oh, we were doing this drill and this went down, right? Just like September 11th, just like all these events. There's always a drill taking place. So they were all standing outside, but not even 5 minutes later, they started hearing gunshots. I didn't see anybody shooting, but like the gunshots were kind of spaced, she said, adding she heard about 4 shots. The entire school district is on lockdown, district officials said. Santa Fe is a city of about 13,000 people, roughly 30 miles southeast of Houston. All right, so they had to make sure they got that in the article. The 30 miles, 13,000, you get your 33. The high school is about 1,400 students, and developing information still coming out on this story. So the junior student at the high school, a junior student, said that it seemed to be a fire drill when they started hearing shots, or they were participating. Here's a better one, right? A junior at the school, this is from a separate article, told CNN that students were participating in what seemed to be a fire drill when they started hearing the shots. So they were all, this is just more evidence here that they were already participating in a fire drill or some type of drill where they were taken outside, and then they heard bang, bang, and, they heard sounds inside, which sounded like gunshots. Why is it that every time this happens that this is going on? That these drill, it's a fire drill. Oh, on the same day they were performing an active shooting drill. And why is it that they get so nervous when we ask questions about it? Why is it that the casual people out there aren't seeing the repetition in a lot of these stories? The teachers are telling us to stay put, but we all just started running away, said the student. Students were evacuated from the school and transported to a local gym to be reunited with their parents, according to the school district. All other campuses were operating on regular schedules. Surrounding school districts were placed on protect mode as a precaution. Doors were locked and personnel were stationed at outer doors, and no students were allowed outside of the building. So what? That makes sense. So what if there's an active shooter inside the building? You're just like locking him inside the house. Or not the house, inside the school. The Santa Fe Police, Galveston County Sheriff's Office, Harris County Sheriff, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Oh, so we're getting getting the ATF involved here. And explosives also responded to the scene. Ted Cruz tweeted that he was keeping the students in his prayers. The incident occurred just over 3 months after a school shooting in Parkland, where 17 students and staff members were killed. The shooting sparked renewed calls for gun control reform and a debate over how to best protect children in schools. To everyone at Santa Fe School, I hope you're safe. I'm so sorry this is happening. I'm so sorry that continues to happen. One of the Parkland survivors tweeted, he said, no one should be in the situation that you're all currently in. I'm not going to say thoughts and prayers, but instead policy and action, right? That's another theme that we're seeing, right? They have all these kids coming out from all these events, and they're going, we've had enough of hearing you talk about prayer. We've had enough of prayer. We want action, right? This is just more of society getting pulled away, getting led astray, the falling away of man, led away from God, right? They want action, right? And remember, this stuff always works. It's problem, reaction, solution. It's the basic blueprint for every event that occurs that the New World Order is behind. Problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem. The zombies react to the problem, and then they give you the solution that they've wanted from the get-go, and they come in like the guy on the white horse, coming in giving gifts. They come in and go, oh, we're going to take action. You've asked us to take action. We're going to take action. Right? Because remember, everything that happens is psychological. All of these things are all done psychologically. The New World Order is going to be asked for. Martial law is going to be asked for. Gun grabs asked for. free speech taken away from Christians, it's going to be asked for because they're going to continue to push it as hate speech. And people are going to go, then don't let them speak. They'll come out with fake stories about people getting bullied and killing themselves and stuff like that, right? And the finger will be pointed at people such as myself for being bullies. But the story's still developing. It sounds as if the person has been arrested and that there are apparently multiple casualties. But the real thing you have to look at, again, is that the first person that seems to be spoken to, just like last time, just like most of these times, is somebody saying that they were in the middle of a fire drill or some type of a drill outside. They're already taken out of the schools and they're like, oh, is this actually real? Is this actually happening? Right? And nobody seems to be suspicious of anything going on. But again, I'm not calling it this or calling it that. All I'm saying is if I'm reading from the articles, I'm taking what I take out of it, what I see, what stands out to me, which is repetition. And this is a repeated line that we're hearing over and over and over and over and over, right? That the students were in the middle of a drill, and then they were told it wasn't a drill, that it was real. Must be a coincidence, though, right? And again, I don't know how these fire drills work now, but I know when I was in school and we went outside for fire drills, I think most of the time you did know ahead of time, but everyone in the school would be outside. It wasn't just like, oh, half the school's outside, right? It wouldn't be like, oh, okay, we're just going to take a few classes here. We're going to take the the science class and the English class, and you two are going to have it. We're going to sound the alarm for it. But everybody else in the school is supposed to avoid it. No, it usually would be the whole school would have the fire drill at the same time. So if all of these people were outside, and then you have the person inside the art classroom, what were the students doing in the art classroom? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I'm asking the question. But again, this is no way, shape, or form hate speech. If anything else develops from the story, I will cover it. Obviously, there's interviews to come with students and things like that, which will come over time. And, take a look at it. See what people say, see if stories match up. I mean, that's what people are supposed to do. People are supposed to be critically thinking, right? They want people to be self-empowered and stuff like that. They always push this, oh, yeah, be self-empowered, chase your dreams, but don't question what the mainstream media tells us. Oh, right, because there's never a narrative or an agenda behind it. Problem, reaction, solution. Same story, different day. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.